Supreme Court justices today will hear a challenge to a town council opening its meetings with prayer. A federal appeals court ruled the prayers in the Rochester, New York suburb of Greece violated the Constitution because nearly every prayer said in an 11-year span was overtly Christian. The Obama administration and conservative groups argue that legislative prayer is part of the nation's fabric. That brings us to our guest this morning on America's Morning News. Andrew Schatkin is the principal of law firm with offices in Long Island and in the process of establishing further offices in Washington, D.C., Boston, and New York City. He's also an author of the book Essays on the Christian Worldview and Other Political, Literary, and Philosophical Questions. Good morning, sir.
Hi, how are you?
I'm well. Yourself?
I'm pretty good.
Tell us a little bit about your book. Thanks. Tell us a little bit about your book. What will readers gain from it?
This book, I have a background in theology, and in fact, I have an MDiv degree. I'm very active in the Lutheran Church Missouri Synod, and I wrote this book because I think this book will, I would hope, point people to what I think are the essence of the Christian belief system. Could I talk about it a bit about it?
Yeah, that's why we have you on.
Okay. Take something like abortion. For many people, the abortion issue is you might say, a women's issue, or perhaps you might say a feminist issue. Well, that isn't really what it is. Abortion is about human life. We Christians believe that God values all people, whether they're born or unborn. In fact, we believe that He created everybody, and He values them. And by the time came, He sent His Son, Jesus Christ, to die for everyone, dead or living or whoever they might be. And therefore, it is not that the Christians or the Church opposes women. The Church values all forms of humanity. Period.
What is it to be Christian in the present world we're living in, where you have a Supreme Court trying to rule on whether or not a town council should open its meetings with prayer?
That is an issue I have to say that I somewhat disagree with. I think ultimately we have to ask ourselves, is there some right to pray publicly? We can do. The society says we can do all kinds of things publicly that we might want to do. Is this any different? Is it any different activity from whatever you might want to do? I don't see the demarcation. I think that Christians have a right to pray wherever they may want to do it. In fact, they have the right to pray to Christ where they might want to do it.
Talk about the persecution of Christians in the Middle East. Is that ever going to end?
The persecution of Christians is something that has always been present. Christ, from His inception, let's be honest about it, certain people in the society did not like Him because He says that everybody has value, that everybody is equal before Christ, and that Christ values them even to dying for them. And therefore, societies will say, well, we like these people, or we like those people, or we like these kind of things. But Christians don't see it that way. And in that sense, perhaps, they represent, you might say, a threat to the establishment.
All right. The book is Essays on the Christian Worldview and Others, Political, Literary, and Philosophical. Where can our listeners get a hold of the book?
Please, the book can be obtained from Hamilton Books. You can call Amazon.com, BN.com, or there is a number, 1-800-462-6420. Anybody wants to talk to me about it, you can call me at 516-932-8120 or email me. I welcome input from everybody. I'm a Christian, so I value everybody. Huh? Okay.
Andrew Schatkin, thank you for joining us on America's Morning News.
Thanks a lot.